Hey everybody, welcome. Patty Ann here. Hey, and I'm here remotely at Bromley Ski Resort in Vermont. I'm here to help my niece with a Cricut project. You see, she works there and she's the events coordinator, and they're going to have their opening day and they're going to have a face painter there. And the face painter would like to be able to paint on Bromley's logo on kids' cheeks if they'd like it. So she's not sure how to make the stencil, so I'm going to show her in today's video how to make the stencil so they'll have it for the opening ceremony. So join me at my computer. Okay, yes, you heard me right. I am going to use this for her Cricut machine, but I'm doing it in Silhouette Business Edition because it's so much easier for me to work there, and she has this version as well, and you can easily use it for your Cricut machine. So I've already gone ahead and gotten the logo, and I went ahead and traced it. If you're not familiar with how to do that, I have tons of videos showing that, so look back at some of those. Anyway, let's get rid of this thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color this in so we can see it more clearly by coming up here and just changing it to, whoops, I need to highlight it first, and I'm going to change it to the red color so I can see it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I have to slice out parts of these letters so that the whole part of the B doesn't get cut out and thrown away when she's making her stencil. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get the knife tool and I'm going to draw a line straight across this B like this, and it's going to draw a little slit that you can barely see. Then I'm going to get the knife tool again and I'm going to make another, let me scroll in so you can see clearly. I'm going to make another slit mimicking that one, but just a little bit down from it like that. Perfect, just like that. Then what I'm going to do is delete these little pieces out because I don't want them. That's great. So I'm going to do the same thing down here on the lower part of the B. And unfortunately, I think I won't be able to go at the same exact angle, but that's okay. Just make this slice, come get the knife tool again, and make yet another slice like this. And then I can just delete these little pieces out perfectly like that. All right, let's see what's the next letter we need to do. How about this O right here? So for the O, what I'm going to do is just get the knife tool, and I think I'll just go straight down like this and make another, whoopsie, go get the knife tool again and make another one straight down like this, leaving some space in between. And then I can delete this and delete this. And as I said, a face painter is going to do this, so if they don't like the little dashes that are left, I'm sure the painter can put a little bit of paint in there after they're done stenciling. Then we'll come up here and do the L the same way. So I'll just draw a line through that and get the knife tool again and draw another knife line through that. And then I'll just click to get rid of that one. And the last thing I have to do is the letter E. So I'll get the knife tool and drag across, get the knife and drag across, and then I can get rid of these two little pieces here. So if you happen to be using a Cameo machine, let me show you how this will work now. All you'll have to do is go over here to Send, and as you can see, what's going to cut is just what we want, right? And it's going to leave these little parts inside here so we don't have to worry about them being cut out. On the other hand, if you are going to use this in Cricut Design Space, well, let's make it a little smaller first. Something that I always like to do, and you'll want to do this also so it stays together properly, is to come over here up to the top where it says Object, and open this all the way, Object, and make Compound Path. That makes it so it's all just one item, and that's perfect, just what we want. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, and I'm just going to name it Bromley. And if I'm going to use this for Cricut Design Space, I must save it as an SVG. If you don't have that option when you're in Silhouette, that's because you do not have the Business Edition, which is a one-time purchase. I do have a link for it down below if you want to purchase it. But anyway, you got to save it as an SVG, say OK. And then you're just going to come over to Cricut Design Space. And I've already been playing with this, so let's cancel this one. Let's get rid of this one. I'm going to go to Upload, Upload an Image, Browse, And I just named it Bromley, so it's here. Open. And there it is, just like that. If I go to save it, and now I can go ahead and insert it. It's going to come in just like this, and now I can resize it however I'd like. And I could go to make it. Notice it's just a cut file. I could go to make it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to cut it in cardstock just so I can test it. But I don't have my Cricut right here, so I'm going to go back to my Silhouette, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it right now. So I'm going to say send, cardstock plain. I'm going to make this heavy cardstock. Let's see, cardstock. Oh, but first, before I'm going to do this, I am going to put a weeding box around it. So I come down here to this fly out arrow where the A and the B are. Those are the weed settings. I'm going to turn it on, horizontal and vertical. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. And then I'm going to go to send. And I want all of this to be not plain cardstock, but I want it to be heavy cardstock. And normally I would test it, but I think this is going to be okay, so I'm just going to say send. And I'll meet you back here when it's done cutting. Okay, this is what it ended up looking like. It's a lot larger than what she will need, but I was going to just try it to see how well this works. I'm curious. I have a piece of cardstock right here. This is some of Auntie Tay's new chalk paint, which I have a link for down below, and if you use my code Patty Ann, you'll get an extra 10% off of what you buy there. It's a nice chalk paint if you like using those things. So let's put this down here, and I don't have a brush handy right here, so I'm just going to use a cotton ball. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. So we're going to just test it and see what happens. So I'm just going to dab on this and see how this is going to work. Like I said, I should probably have a brush, stencil brush, so that it doesn't bleed all over the place. Okay, I did want to show you that this actually does work. So I did do it out of removable vinyl, just so you could see. And the cardstock probably would have worked if I had used the adhesive spray and had it, excuse me, the back of it sprayed down nicely onto the other piece of cardstock that I was attempting to transfer it to. So this is going to just show you that it will definitely work, this technique. It's just, you can't have a piece of cardstock flopping around that you think is going to stay down tight enough for you to be able to stencil. Trying to pay attention to what I should be weeding out, so I don't weed out the wrong stuff. And this little bit of the E, and there it is, Bromley. Got something stuck down here. Okay, so that's that, and now I could simply pick this up probably and put it onto a piece of cardstock and attempt this again. So let's see if I actually can without any transfer tape. Okay, I decided I might as well show you the right way to do this. So I am using transfer tape. I do have my isopropyl alcohol. It's 91%, and I'm actually going to go ahead and put this on a piece of tile just so you can see how this works. So it's just a piece of tile that I have from either Lowe's or Home Depot. Rid of that paper towel, put the lid on this, Maybe not. Put it over to the side anyway. All right, so now I'm going to put my decal onto this. I'm going to kind of line it up in the center, I guess. Kind of just eyeball it because this is just a sample. Let's put this on here, burnish it down, and then take this off. The little bumps that you see really don't matter unless they're around the text, because then some of the paint could get in there. So I'm going to take this piece and put it back on here and just burnish down again, just to make sure around all the letters that there aren't any bubbles or anything. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I do have a brush this time. It's not a stenciling brush, but I think it'll work just fine. And I should just dab this up and down like this, right here. Probably don't even need any more paint, probably. Not sure how well this chalk paint will adhere to the tile. Hopefully well enough for you to see for the sample. Put this over to the side so I don't spill it. Again, that's that chalk paint from Auntie Tay. And now, oh no, the vinyl that I use says it's permanent. I thought it was not permanent. I misread it. So I'm going to have a little bit of trouble here, I'm afraid. When you're doing projects, make sure you read carefully. I thought this said it was non-permanent vinyl. This says it's permanent, but it's working okay, and it's coming up since I didn't have it on there that long. Let's get my little tool out here, get this off there. Okay. All right, so you can see it's working really well, and if I had used the non-permanent vinyl, it would have been just a touch bit easier, because these wouldn't be sticking like this as much. Should be able to get in there though. Here. So this is all you have to do to make a stencil, and I really kind of think this looks kind of cool, farmhousey like, on with this paint from Auntie Tay. So you get the idea there. It's not perfect, but it was just to show you actually how to make this stencil in Silhouette, and you can use this for Cricut or any machine. So again, thanks for joining me. Hey, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Check out my links down below. They may be something that you're in the market for. And if you use my links, I get a teeny tiny commission, and it helps me to keep going and be able to purchase things for my displays or for my examples. So again, thanks for joining me. See you all again soon. Bye-bye.